Hello, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting, and I'm your host, Lovey Brown. Thank you so much for listening. I'm thrilled that you're here. And today, I want to talk to you about revision. So, Neville Goddard talks about using the pruning shears of revision to manifest exactly what you want. And what he means when he talks about this is changing the past, changing an event that's happened either in the very immediate past or even in the very long ago past in your memory to match so that what you remember happened is what you want to have happened. So he gives an example of a grandmother who had a falling out with her son and daughter in law and could not see her grandchildren because of it. And so she sent some letters to them, and she wrote some letters in her mind from them, from her grandchildren and her daughter in law and son. And the letters said, something to the effect of, like, oh, I got your gifts, and we're so happy to be in a relationship with each other again. That's just the general sense of what they said. That's not an exact thing of what they said. So as she was falling asleep at night, she would read these letters, these imaginary letters, revising the letters that they had sent, cutting off relationship with her. She revised these letters to the letters that she wanted to have received. And she fell asleep every night reading the letters that she wanted to have received, revised letters. And it was just a matter of time before she received those letters, very similar letters, in the mail, having, and got back in touch with her daughter in law and son and grandchildren. And so that is an example of revision. So now I want us to do this together. One, because I have something in my life right now that I want to revise. And so I want to do this with you. I think that would be a really fun exercise. So we're going to just take a minute, and I want you to do this whenever you have time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be right before you fall asleep, although I do think going into sleep is a good time to practice your manifesting. So just take a deep breath and bring to mind something that you wish had gone either slightly different or very different, or someone that you want to be in contact with, or something that happened that you didn't care for the way it happened. Just get briefly in touch with that memory, that thought. So that's just a thought. And so we're going to change in our imagination what happened. And you're going to think to yourself, oh, this is what I want. And you're going to create that new scene, that new letter, that new information, that new conversation. And you're going to decide what it is you want. Then you're going to practice that in your imagination 2 or 3 times, 5 times, 7 times. It doesn't really matter the number of times. You're just going to do it until it feels pretty natural. Now, because you're thinking about this thing, it's likely to start coming to mind over the next few days, and that's fine. So it could come to mind the way you're doing it, like the old memory, the memory that you remember happening. And if it does, what you're going to do is you're going to take a moment to replace it with what you've decided to replace it with. Now, all of this is happening in your imagination, in your internal world. And remember, it's your internal world that pushes out. And you don't have to talk about it with anyone. You don't have to share it. You don't have to go to the person that's in your memory and tell them it's changed. And you just want to do that until when this memory comes to mind, the what you've decided is the thing that pops in your head, not the old one. So you just want to repeat this whenever it comes to mind. You're not trying to force it. You're not trying to bring it up all the time. You're not trying to saturate your mind with it necessarily. You're just going to pop in that new memory, that new idea, that new letter, that new relationship. Whatever it is that you're working on revising, you're just going to pop that in. in place of the old. And with that, you are going to change the past. Now, there's lots of people who do this revision and a lot like about lots of different things. You can do kind of long-term revisions like one that I've heard about, and I've not done this one, but one that I've heard about is someone who revised their childhood financial situation. So their childhood, as they explained it, they weren't very financially secure or well off. And they changed that. They changed that in their imagination where they just revised and they practiced saying things about how they always had plenty when they were a kid. They always had plenty to eat, plenty of toys and, stuff that they wanted. And they just changed that. And it's changed their life in a way where they feel really secure and really good about their financial situation. So you can do long term revisions. You can do something just really sort of short and sweet and something like unpleasant that happened. You can change it. Um, I'm trying to change something. Like I said, I don't really talk about my current manifestations until they happen, and I can share the success. But I'm going to work on revising this week, and you work on revising too. And with that, may you manifest exactly what you want.